Hello, I'm Kevin Morrison. Welcome to SPS Now, where we let you know what's happening in Spokane Public Schools and how it affects your family. So let's take a look around your district. Let's begin by highlighting some students and staff who've earned recent recognitions. The Lewis and Clark High School ProStart team took first place in the 2017 Cisco ProStart Invitational. This is Washington's premier culinary and restaurant management competition for youth. The Ferris team placed third, and Ferris senior Katerina Ducharme was named Student of the Year. In April, the LC team will compete for scholarships and honors at the National ProStart Invitational held in South Carolina. Also in April, 23 SPS students will travel to the DECA International Career Development Conference in Anaheim, California. There, they'll compete with more than 10,000 other high school finalists from throughout the nation. And in May, the Rogers High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard will be in Florida to compete in the 35th Annual National High School Drill Team Championships. Fewer than 5% of the thousands of junior ROTC units are accepted to compete at nationals, which will host over 4,000 cadets from more than 150 schools in 30 states. Or more than 100 area students recently presented research projects at the Eastern Washington Regional Science and Engineering Fair. Isaac Caruso from Lewis and Clark and Faith King from Ferris took both top prizes and won all expenses paid trips to the International Fair in Los Angeles. In staff news, we'd like to congratulate SPS Indian Education Coordinator Pam Austin, who received a Sacred Heart Children's Hospital Advocate of the Year Award for Education. This award honors individuals in our community who are making a difference in the lives of children. On Track Academy principal Lisa Matson-Coleman, meanwhile, received the Washington Alternative Learning Association Administrator of the Year for her years of great work in this field. Fantastic job, Lisa. And finally, every year, the Chase Youth Awards celebrate incredible students and one adult who inspire us all. We'd like to congratulate all the 2017 Chase Youth Award recipients. You can watch the entire celebration at your address on the screen. Do you have a good news item you'd like us to share on social media? Head to the address shown on your screen to let us know. After interviewing 7 candidates over 2 evenings in open public meetings, the Spokane Public Schools Board of Directors selected Michael Weiser to fill the board vacancy left by longtime board member Bob Douthit. He was sworn in during the opening of the regular scheduled board meeting on March 22nd. Mr. Weiser is the Vice President of Strategic Planning for Chass Health, and he and his wife have 2 children attending SPS. His specific areas of interest include closing the achievement gap, expanding the option school network the district has already started, and studying some of the overlapping issues of health and education disparities. Spokane Public Schools is hiring now for the 2017-18 school year. While we're always looking for great teachers, we also need quality nurses, craftsmen, and a range of other skilled professionals. If you're looking for a great career, you might be surprised at the variety of jobs SPS has to offer. Head to SpokaneSchools.org employment to see what's open. Spokane Public Schools is working to lower operating costs by reducing energy consumption. Since 2005, the district has completed nearly 250 different energy-saving projects, from installing high-efficiency appliances and lighting to upgrading heating, ventilation, and air systems throughout the district. As a result, SPS has received more than $2.8 million in rebates. In 2016 alone, Spokane Public Schools qualified for more than $87,000 in energy-efficient rebates and incentives from Avista, helping reduce our annual energy needs by more than 350,000 kilowatt hours. Improvements over the past year include the completion of 4 major lighting projects, part of the district-wide initiative that will roll out amongst all 35 other schools over the next few months. The Spokane Public Schools Foundation Bowling Extravaganza is coming up May 25th. This is a fun-filled night. It supports students across SPS with grants for innovative classroom and school-wide projects. If your business or organization wants to do some good with a great team-building activity, there are still a few lanes open. Visit the address on your screen to learn more. High school commencement season is almost upon us, and we're proud to say that SPS graduation rates continue to climb. While the 4-year graduation rate was just 76% 5 years ago, it now tops 84% and rising, well above the state average. You can find upcoming graduation dates and times at the address on your screen. And if you have family and friends who can't make it to the ceremony, remind them to watch live at SpokaneSchools.org stories or on Comcast Channel 17. Each event will remain on our YouTube channel for viewing after the big day as well. Due to ongoing enrollment growth and class size reduction, SPS has begun early planning for the 2021 school facility construction bond. Here to help educate us is Dr. Mark Anderson, Spokane Public Schools Associate Superintendent of School Support Services. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Kevin.
I understand the district is looking at both short and long term as well as technology needs for the future. Can you tell us a little bit about why we're doing this now?
Well, you are right. We're starting early. Typically, we start a couple years before the next bond to decide what schools will be upgraded or replaced and other needs in the district. We're starting 5 years early this time due to that enrollment growth and class size reduction. It translates to needing probably about 4 more elementary schools in the district, new schools, or if we moved our 6th graders up, 3 new middle schools. And so this year we have a broad-based committee of parents, community members, and staff studying different grade configurations. We've been kindergarten through 6 elementary schools, 7, 8 middle schools, and 9 through 12 high schools since the 70s. And the question now we're asking educationally, is that the best configuration? And then next year, we'll have a different study committee saying if we change configurations, what would that do to school attendance boundaries? And what are the pros and cons of that? Followed by the 3rd year of the study, deciding, so let's put some cost to this. What kind of buildings would we build for the different configurations? How much would it cost taxpayers? So that kind of methodical approach to a long-range study with various committees is something new for us and just as reflective of the different environment that we're working in today with more complications. In the meantime, we do have needs before 2021. So one of the pieces of this last bond that we built in for short-range planning is a component for either adding on to schools, at elementary schools mostly, or portable classrooms, or if needed, making some boundary adjustments. And that committee's working every year, short range, deciding what do we do for the next year with this growth, class size reduction. So you're right, 2 different committees going on at the same time.
So something the public should probably know is when the legislature has been funding with the McCleary decision and additional funding towards public schools, the construction part of that may be necessary for lower class size has not been addressed.
That's correct, and that's a big missing piece of the Basic Education Act is not only do you have to fund the teachers, but where do you put the classrooms and the students? So our school board, one of their legislative priorities is to request that the legislature also fund some construction money to meet the class size reduction versus it being totally a burden on each local community.
Great, and I understand also that we have a technology study going on as well with an outside firm. Right. And can you tell us a little bit what's that for and what's the timeline with that?
So as you know, technology and the instructional use of technology has increased over the years, and so we have been doing a study that will finish in late April, early May for the board of where do we stand on technology compared to national standards, other standards in the state of Washington for student use, for our staff's use, and that study then will inform us, are we budgeting enough through either our bond issues or do we need a technology levy to fund the kinds of technology needed for today's education of young people.
And we're certainly not alone in that across the 295 districts in this growth and smaller class size. Right. So there's a lot of struggling districts with it as well.
Around the state.
Yeah. If I'm a parent or a community member, how do I get involved with learning more about this and or giving my thoughts or concerns about it?
So for this grade configuration, which tends to be something that folks have opinions about, where should my children, should they go to elementary school or middle school? We're going to have 6 forums in late April, early May one at each middle school across the district we're encouraging. You can come to any one of the forums that we're going to lay out. The committee is the pros and cons of different configurations. So there's a chance to come and weigh in. We're also going to do an online input session with parents across the district as well as staff. So there's another opportunity, again in late April, early May. And then looking on our website, if you want to track the committee's work, we have it right on the front page, Long Range Planning, and you can see each meeting and all the meeting notes and ask us questions.
Great. Well, thank you for walking us through this. It sounds like it's quite a process. There's going to be a lot more information, obviously, heading home with parents and also in the news and media with our grade configuration study forthcoming.
Yes, it's an exciting time, but challenging, and we look forward to working with the community on figuring out a plan.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. On each episode of SBS Now, we take a moment to highlight our community partners. This week, we'd like to focus on one of the hundreds of businesses and organizations that work directly with our neighborhood schools. Earlier this month, Providence Holy Family Hospital invited Lidgerwood Elementary 6th graders to experience science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers in healthcare. Students rotated throughout the stations to meet doctors, nurses, radiologists, lab technicians, and other professionals. The healthcare industry is expected to add more jobs by 2024 than any other occupational group, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Partnerships like this help to get our students excited about the possibilities that await them. And we're grateful to everyone who took part in what's now being planned as an annual event at Lidgerwood Elementary. As we were talking about earlier, our long-range planning process includes input by several committees made up of staff, parents, and community members. One of those committees is the Grade Configuration Task Force. I'm joined now by two members of this group, SPS Board Director Sue Chapin and Serena McPherson, whose children attend Spokane Public Schools. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Sue, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about why does the district need to have this particular study, grade configuration, at this point?
Oh, great question, Kevin. The district is growing, and we need some new buildings to accommodate our student population. It's not just the growth in the community, it's also the reduction in class size at K-3. It makes us need more classrooms, and we want to do it right. If we need to build buildings, we want to make sure we're building our schools in the configuration that makes the most sense and the configuration that our citizens want. We've done K-6 forever. We used to have a K-8 in the district. I don't know if people remember that Lincoln Heights used to be a K-8. And I think if you go back far enough, you'll find a few other K-8s. Franklin was a K-8 many years ago. But we got away from that, and all of our schools are now K-6, and then 7-8 middle schools and high schools are 9 through 12. And so as we look forward to new buildings that we know we need, we want to do it right.
Makes good sense.
Yeah.
Serena, you have firsthand knowledge of kind of the growth that has been happening in Spokane Public Schools. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I started to get involved when a lot of people up here on the Upper South Hill did, and that was when ground started to be broken and new apartment buildings seemed to be going up all around us, and so that obviously got the attention of a lot of citizens. And so we started to think about how is this going to impact traffic and how is this going to impact our schools. And so I helped put together a group of parents and neighbors, and we met with neighborhood councils, we met with developers, we met with the Spokane School District, and then a friend, Rhiannon, and I put together planning partners for Spokane schools, and we decided to just focus on the needs of the schools. And I'll say at first, it didn't seem like the people who were representing the district understood our concerns, but when we met with them personally for the first time, we realized nothing could be further from the truth. They have schedules set up and detailed plans to look at every single facet of all the options available to us to make sure that we make the best option or the best choice possible with our options. So I have a lot of confidence in them.
So what surprised you the most about the grade configuration study so far that you've been on?
I think this thing that surprised me the most is that the current configuration is not necessarily in the best interest of the students and the teachers and the budget for that matter. If you have a 10, 11, or 12-year-old at home, or have had one at home, you know that they are always pushing for independence and to be individuals. And in the current configuration, they all have to learn the same thing at the same time when they go to a certain elementary school. Well, a lot of students are ready for more challenging coursework, or maybe even different coursework like taking foreign language or an advanced math. And in a different configuration, we might have more opportunities for the students to do that.
I think the important thing to talk about is it's part of a process. It's not a stand-alone study. It goes with the long-range facility planning, and I mean, it's a part of a continuum that we're looking at.
And there is an outside firm that is familiar with this.
Right. We have a consultant with national experience that's helping us with this process. It's part of it's part of a bigger set of projects. This is the first piece, looking at what's the best grade configuration for our community, and then our long-range facility plan. So then what buildings do we need to implement this grade configuration, and what do those buildings need to look like? So it's an important process, and the group that we're working with is, as you said, it's a group of citizens, parents, school district staff, and we're hearing what the research says about different grade configurations, how transitions impact students as they leave one school that they're used to and move to another school. So we're looking at a lot of things. We're also going to be looping out to the larger community with some information and feedback sessions that will be hosted at each one of our middle schools, because we recognize we've got a great group of citizens right now that are hearing this information and giving us input, but the decisions that we make, and ultimately that the school board will need to make with input from our citizens and from this group, is going to impact our entire district, and it's going to impact generations of kids. So we're going to hold these information and feedback sessions out at the various middle schools, and we're really looking forward to a lot of attendance and participation.
And Serena, your part of this is a long-term goal of yours, because you still have quite a few children still at home, haven't even started school yet, right?
Yeah. I have 4 kids between the ages of 3 and 10, so this issue has a lot of stake for our family. And I should say at the outset, when I was asked to be on this committee, I did not want to send my soon-to-be 6th grader to middle school. That wasn't even an option that I wanted to consider, no way. But as soon as I heard the pros and cons of all the different configurations, I can honestly say I would send him to middle school next year in a heartbeat in 6th grade. And one of the major reasons for that is the biggest strength the current configuration has is that we all know it. It's been around since the 70s, but that's where it kind of ends for me. And one of the main reasons that I would like to see new configurations is by the time my youngest is done at Moran Prairie, I will have had 15 consecutive years at that school as a parent. My husband and I investing in that school for 15 years. Compare that to 8 broken up years at Chase Middle School, where our kids will either be transitioning in or transitioning out in their whole experience there. I think one of the reasons that many of us don't have the fondest memories of junior high is because we didn't feel like it was our school. We didn't necessarily know the teachers as well, and there wasn't that buy-in that you have in elementary school and in high school. And that's something that I would like to see my family have, is that buy-in every year for going to a school for a longer period of time than just 2 years.
That makes great sense. And Sue, what have you learned mainly from this overall experience so far?
One thing that it's clear, the literature does not point to one specific model being the best for student achievement. They all have pros, they all have cons, but what's really important is what your community wants, because these schools belong to the community. And I've been on the school board since 2007, and that's one thing that's been clear the whole time is the Spokane community really values input and choice. And so we're doing this process to make sure that our citizens have voice and have choice into whatever configuration is decided. And we need to do this process first before we decide on our building projects, because this will form those building projects. This will tell us what those buildings need to look like, what parts of town they should be in, how big they need to be. And, you know, let's face it, kindergartners and first graders need different facilities than 7th and 8th graders or 6th graders, you know. So it's really important to do this in a sequence and to get really good community input from a broad spectrum of our constituents.
Well, fantastic. Thank you both very much for being
You're
here.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Throughout this process, we really do need your input. Please consider taking part in one of the 6 community forums being held in April and May. Learn more by visiting the address on your screen. A few updates for you now on the progress of our major projects funded by the 2015 Facilities Improvement Bond. The Mullen Road Elementary addition is nearly complete, while a new cafeteria and commons area at North Central High School is set to be finished very soon. Meanwhile, the second phase of the Salk Middle School replacement is well underway and on track to be ready in spring of 2018. Looking ahead, the modernization of Franklin Elementary is scheduled to start in June 2017 with completion slated for December of 2018. During that construction, Franklin students and staff will attend Camp Franklin in the old Jefferson Elementary building on Grand and 37th. 3 community design open houses gave neighbors, parents, and staff a voice in designing the new school, which features a thoughtful restoration of the original 1909 building, plus an addition meant to complement the existing design features. The new school will be larger by 36,000 square feet, allowing space for current educational programs, as well as future growth or option program expansion in the future. Construction on a new 2-story replacement for Linwood Elementary is scheduled to start in the spring of 2018, with the new school opening in the fall of 2019. Originally built in 1957, Linwood will become one of the district's largest elementary schools at 69,300 square feet. Students and staff will remain on site during the construction of the new school, very much like the process used during the Westview Elementary replacement project. Spokane Public Schools Director of Express and After School Programs, Lisa White, is here to get you excited about what will be the 3rd year of SPS Summer STEM Camps, July 10th through August 3rd. Great to see you, Lisa.
You too, Kevin.
So for those of us who aren't familiar necessarily with what a STEM camp is, tell us a little bit about it.
The summer STEM camps are an opportunity for us to get kids excited about math, science, engineering, and technology. And it's all kids. We want pre-kindergartners all the way through 10th grade this year, just exploring science and math and having fun and wanting to do more when they go back to school.
So what would I see if I went to a camp? What would it be like?
Oh gosh, you're going to see robotics, you're going to see kids doing engineering on computers, you're going to see kids programming Raspberry Pis. I don't know if you know what that is, but Arduinos. We have pre-K camps. Kids love chemistry, little makerspace, and one of my new favorites, we're going to be doing some virtual reality and augmented reality for the older kids this year.
Very cool. So that is what's new this year. Anything else new this year?
Oh gosh, we have a STEM leadership camp. We have a lot of kids that have been with us for many, many years, and they probably aren't ready to be out of camp, but their parents might not be ready for them to be at home either. So we're doing a STEM leadership camp where they can come and have fun in the morning and then mentor other students in the afternoon.
And what feedback have you been getting? This is our 3rd year with this program.
Yeah, we did a video on Facebook last Monday. It went viral. It was a preschool video. Parents were coming out of the woodwork, got calls from Idaho, all over the state. It was amazing. And they are ready to sign their kids up. So this morning when I came in, we already had 30 registrations.
Wow,
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in, Lisa. It sounds like a great summer.
Thank you.
Find a list of camps and register before they fill up at spokaneschools.org/summer STEM camps. Thanks for watching, Spokane. This show is available alongside our other SPS programming at SpokaneSchools.org/stories. And it will air again on Comcast Channel 17 from March 31st through April 6th. You can always learn more about anything mentioned during the show by visiting SpokaneSchools.org/SPS Now. We'll leave you with footage from the Pacific Teens Club, which was started by a group of Shaw Middle School students. The club recently taught some hula at the Northtown Boys and Girls Club. Until next time, good night and have a great week.